Okay. So good afternoon. So we were discussing about leadership, right? What is the principle of leadership? Who is a good leader? What makes a good leader? What are the features you have to look for in a leader? How can you become a leader? These were the topics which we were discussing, right? Now, so what are the behavior? Okay, what are the important characteristics of a good leader? So in the trait approach of leadership, we have seen certain factors. Okay, so whenever you are writing the exam, you can add those here also. Okay, so you can add those and combine and write according to your marks. Okay, the first quality or characteristics of a leader should be that he should be selfless. Okay, he should not be selfish. That means if he is keeping the others, the requirements of others before himself, then he's having good ideals and he will be a more effective leader, right? Then his character. So he should have courage, that is, speak up where it is required. He should have determination, that is, to stand for what is right. And he should take initiative, even if others are not coming forward. If he feels it is right, if he feels it's needed to be done, he should come forward. Okay, then knowledge about the business, about the market, about the environment, about the people, about his subordinates, okay, about the customers. So these kind of knowledge and essential for are essential for a leader. Then handling people. Handling people again, a leader has to deal people accordingly, right? Because there are he might have to work with 100 people. When 100 persons mean 100 ideas, 100 upbringing, 100 way of life. So he has to deal with them accordingly, right? And communication. Communication means he should be able to communicate what he has to what he has to say effectively. Okay? Nothing should be lost in translation. Nothing should be kept for interpretation. It should be everything should be clear cut, right? And it's and he has to listen to ideas also, right? So he should not act like a radio. Whatever he has to say, he should convey it very in a crisp and clear manner. And similarly, he should listen to others also. Okay? Listen to others' ideas, what others has to say, what are the input from others, if there's any issue with them, right? All these things has to be taken into consideration, right? So these are essential behavior, what we have to look for. Similarly, you can add his drive, his motivation, his self-confidence, right? All these factors can also be added to this, right? Then we discussed about leadership styles. So there are many leadership styles are there, but among them, we need to concentrate on three. Okay, so the three approaches are: first one is leadership based on the usage of authority. Okay, how much of an authority does he use? Okay, that was the first one. The second one is based on managerial grit, and the third one is leadership as a continuum. Okay, uh, we shall see them later. We saw leadership based on authority, right? So how much of an authority does this person use? Okay, if, on that basis we have three types, three styles. First one is autocratic leadership, right? So autocratic leadership means, so the term itself you can understand. So it's autocratic means the leader is supreme. So he is the supreme in command. He makes decisions and everyone has to follow. He has got the complete authority, right? So leader makes a decision and announces it. Okay? There's no discussion. This is to be done. That's it. Okay. Also, how does this work? Okay. What gives this leader this power? Okay. The power comes from his ability to grant or withhold. Okay. He can grant rewards, he can withhold rewards, or he can punish them. Okay. Granting and withholding rewards and punishment. So the leader has got that power. Power. Okay. Remember position power. Okay. Position has given him the power, and that makes him an autocrat. Right? So dimensions are connected over here. Position power coming here, right? The autocratic leader he's the supreme one. He makes a decision and it just simply announces them. Okay? There's no scope of discussion over here. Okay, and this works because the leader has the ability to withhold or give rewards and punishment. Right? then the subordinates have no role in decision making. Okay? Subordinates have no role in decision making, and they just have to obey the leader. Okay? They will just obey the leader, and he has got no role in decision making. Right? And what is the strength of this approach of leadership or this style of leadership? That is the decision making are prompt, because leader is one is making the decision. There is no discussion, so he can make uh, decisions quickly. There is no delay in decision making, and the responsibility assigning of responsibility is also easy. Again, there are no discussions. Okay, so if the leader feels, he can assign the task to anyone he chooses. Right, this is the advantage. And where this is suitable, this leadership comes into play, that when the subordinates who has to work for the leader has got the no experience. Okay? They don't have the sufficient experience or the knowledge. They don't have the sufficient knowledge or the experience to take up the mantle or take up the job. So that at that point of time, the leader has to become an autocrat. He will say, okay, you do this, you do that, you do this, right? Like that. So these are the strengths. What are the weaknesses? Weaknesses are, again, the subordinates, they don't have any role. Okay? They have to just obey what the leader says. So their self-confidence will be low, their morale will be low, right? What happens is, here the ideas, everything is coming from one single person. Okay? The leader is the one who is making the decision. But what will happen is, for sure, okay, there will be some better ideas would have come up if there was a discussion. Get brainstorming, we say, right? If there was a discussion, we would have better ideas would have come up. But there's no chance for that over here. There's no better ideas not going to come up, and the capabilities of the individuals or the subordinates are not utilized. They are underutilized, right? In this scenario. So that is autocratic style of leadership. The second style of leadership is democratic. Okay, democratic or participative. So in this type of leadership, what happens is the leader consults with the subordinates, and then even if they are not giving them suggestion, he encourages them. Okay? I need answers. Come on, give me. Okay? He makes them give him answers. Okay? So there's a healthy discussion going on there. And here the leader can take up two styles. Okay, first one may be like, what will happen is leader will have a discussion, and then we'll decide on the topic. Okay, that's one. Okay. Second one is leader would have already made up his mind. Okay, he would have made a decision, but he will keep it open. Okay, he would not enforce it, he will not implement it. He will keep it open so that there's a discussion going on. Okay, then once the discussion is done, then the leader can make the decision. Right? There's two scenarios over here also. Right? So what happens here? The leader is developing a good team. Okay, so he can pick up another leader from this group. Okay, and he can place it somewhere. So when we are expanding from Matanu to Cochin, so I'll have a good manager from here only. Okay, I need not look from outside. Right? So that a strong team is developed. And what is the strength of this democratic leadership? So it creates job satisfaction and increases the morale of subordinates. Right? So in our case itself, see, whenever somebody listens to us, okay, when somebody is open to our opinion, we'll be feeling happy. So don't we are going for a restaurant, where do we eat, man? So everyone will give their own opinion. Okay, we'll go here, we'll go there, I'll go there, right? Somebody will come, okay, shall we go here? Okay, then I will say, okay, that's a good suggestion. We can go there. So you will feel happy, right? Same way, your opinion matters. Okay, so you are taking part in a decision making. So whenever you're taking part in that kind of a job, you will be more satisfied. You will be happy over there. Okay? And develop, and there will be a positive attitude altogether. Right? Now, what are the weaknesses of this leadership? Leadership weaknesses, again, decision making becomes slow, because leader has to listen. Leader has to discuss upon the decision, right? So the decision making will become slow, and it requires proper communication between the leader and the subordinate. Okay, but what happens is, if it should be open communication should be there. Okay, sometimes the leader may fail to convey what he means, or the subordinate may fail to convey what he means. That should not be the case. Okay? there should be an open channel for communication. There should be proper communication. That is the second one. That second type of leadership, right? The third type of leadership is free reign. So these are all based on authority, how the leader uses authority. The first one, leader is autocrat. Here, the leader is more open to suggestions, right? After having discussions only, decisions are made. In free reign, it is free rule. You are the king. Okay, the leader will use absolutely no power, zero, and even if he uses a power, it will be very little, right? So under this leadership, complete freedom is given to subordinates. The free reign leader uses power very little, very little, or sometimes uh, zero also. Okay, so it gives a higher degree of independence to the subordinates. Okay, and what does the leader do here? The superior will frame the policy, what we have to do, and gives full freedom to the subordinates to implement it. I need this to be done. Okay, you can do whatever you want. Ultimately, should be done. That is my only case. So see, so complete responsibilities are upon you, right? So this is not suitable for every setup, right? So creative businesses, this type of leadership suits, right? Like an advertisement. So our pen company gives a, see, we are a product, developed a new product. This is the pen. So we need an advertisement. We'll go to the owner. We'll have a discussion. Owner say, okay, these are your terms and conditions, right? We note it down. He call up the creative head and he'll give the entire thing to the creative head. So the leader or the owner is giving, and so these are the constraints. These are the things you have to look for. Okay. This is the client's number, or this is the client. Have a discussion. Do the job. Done. Right? Done. Leader's done. Right? Now, what happens? The creative head, he may be an autocrat. Okay, he may adopt an autocratic style of leadership, or he may adopt a democratic style of leadership. That comes second. But as far as the owner is concerned, he is a free reign leader. Okay, he is given the lead to the creative head, right? So here, what happens? The full utilization of the abilities. The abilities, because they have no zero input from the leader, so they have to work. They have to go beyond that. Okay, whatever they can achieve, you have to go beyond that. So creates job satisfaction and increases it's their product. Okay, and what are the weaknesses? Acting ineffectively, there is no leader, right? And so they will have zero guidance and support. Okay, so this is the first type of or style of leadership that is based on authority. Clear? The second type is managerial grit. Okay, so this grit, the term itself, grit. This grit is developed by Robert Blake and Jane Morton. Okay, so they developed this grit. Okay, so this grid is used to describe various managerial styles. So a grid is basically used. Okay, this grid has two dimensions. One is concern for production, and one is concern for people. Okay, so this is what a grid looks like, right? So we said there are two dimensions, right? Concern for people and concern for production. So you can see in the x direction or the horizontal direction, it is concern for production, and in the y direction or the direction, we have concern for people. So if you look at this grid, you can see there are 81 cells, right? So it goes from 0 to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? 9 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So there are in effectively, there are 81 cells, 81 cells, right? So each of the cells will denote a managerial style. Okay? So see here, 1, 1, 9, 1, 9, 9, 1, 9, 5, 5. Like this, we are numbering. Okay? X and Y. Like how we do in mathematics itself, X and Y, X, Y. So here X is concern for production, Y is concern for people. We shall see what they are in a little bit. Understand? So 1 1 means concern for production is 1, concern for people is 1. 9 1 means concern for production is 9, concern for people is 1. Okay, so 1 is low, 9 is high. That is the scenario. Clear? This is how you have to read the grid. So 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. As it progresses, that becomes higher and higher, right? So we said there are two dimensions, right? Concern for production and concern for people. So what is the first? That means concern for production. So concern for production includes the attitude of a supervisor towards things such as the quality of policy decisions, procedures, and process, quality of service, work efficiency, and output volume. Right. So here the manager or the supervisor the, is concerned with what? He is not only concerned with the output volume, how much, but how it is done. What is the quality of our decisions? What is the quality of our procedure? What is the quality of our process? Okay, what is the quality of a service? What are our work efficiency? Okay, so he's bothered with all of these things. Okay, not only how much is important, but he's not going for, but also how how it is done. Okay, how much is done in the same way, how much as how much is important, it is how it is done. Okay, so we need to produce pen, we need to produce 100 pens maybe, but how we are producing 100 pens is also important, whether we are keeping the quality or not. Okay, we can do we can prepare 100 pens easily if we are not bothered about quality, right? So are we keeping the quality, and are we producing 100 pens? Both of these are concern, both of these are bothered by the uh, comes under the concern for production. Okay. Now, concern for people. Concern for people includes elements as the degree of personal commitment towards the achievement, maintenance of the self-esteem of the workers, placement of responsibility on the basis of trust rather than obedience, maintaining and satisfying. So maintaining a satisfying interpersonal relationship. Okay, how we are, what and all are, in general, what are we concerned about? Okay, so here what is the level of commitment? Okay, what is the level of commitment of that particular person towards our company? That is that we have to consider. Okay, concern for people will that will include how much is that person committed to our company, okay, or our goal achievement. Okay, what we have to maintain the self-esteem of workers. Okay, so maintenance of self-esteem of workers is an important aspect, right? Because the workers that they belong there. Okay, so they esteem, their self-esteem that it is to be maintained. Then placement of responsibility on the basis of trust rather than obedience. Okay, suppose what happens if I am the leader, I may know two person. Okay, one person might be obedient. Okay, whatever I say, he will do it. He may be very much obedient. Okay, the other, but the other one may not be so much. Okay, but when I consider trust, so I may feel that that person, who's obedient person, is not that much of trustworthy. Even if the other person is not obedient, but he is trustworthy. Okay, പറഞ്ഞാൽ കേൾക്കൂലെങ്കിലും സത്യമുള്ളവനാണ്. Like that means, right? He may not listen to me all the time, but he will do what is needed, truthfully. Okay, so whenever I am doing this, I should not go for obedience, but I should go for trust. Okay, I should not say that person will say he will do whatever I say. So I will choose him. No, I'll choose person who is more trustworthy. Okay, and maintain sufficient or satisfying interpersonal relationship. So here, understand the word satisfying. Okay, we are saying we should maintain satisfying interpersonal relationship. It's not that we should maintain a very good relationship or not. It should be satisfying. We are in a working environment. We may not be friends. We may be acquaintance. Okay? In your classroom itself, you will have somebody who is very close to you. Okay, you are all third year students, right? So you will have someone very close to you in your classroom, and there may be people whom you know, who when you see you smile. Right? Both of these scenarios exist. There may be people who you dislike also, but we go for only positive things. So satisfying interpersonal relationship can be made. Okay, sometimes what will happen is after this, okay, after your BTech, when you're going for a higher job or higher studies, okay, you get placed or the person who was your acquaintance, he will become your best friend. Okay? We will know each other. Okay, we study together. We are buddies. We'll get a good relationship with that person. That will change. So whatever happens, has to keep a satisfying relationship. Right? Clear? Now we'll come back to the grid. So the grid has two dimensions. Okay, dimension means x and y. So x-axis it is concern for production and y is concern for people. Concern for production means we are bothered about how much is produced, but also how it is produced. Okay, concern for people. What is the degree of relationship with them? Are they trustworthy? Are we keeping the morale up? All these things have to be considered. Okay, so in an uh, grid or manager grid, the horizontal axis represents concern for production and the vertical axis represents concern for people. Okay? Even if you are, see, whenever this question of draw the figure, okay, the drawing it goes without saying. Okay? You'll have hardly what five maximum 8 or 9 figures throughout this entire uh, what in this paper subject uh, maximum 8 or 9. Okay, whenever the question comes up, even if the question doesn't say draw, you should draw. Okay, so even if you draw, you can mark the figure, just mention them, right? So each cell of the grid, that is total 81 number, contains a numerical rating reflecting the man concern for result of people. Okay, so see here. So in this we have there have five grids have been marked. Okay, 11, 91, 99, 19, and 55. Okay, so each of these grid is having a value, right? So 91 means the production concern for production is very high and concern for people is low. Okay, sometimes if I say 57, grid 57, what is that? The manager is following 57, meaning concern for production is there 5. Okay, but he is little bit more concerned about people. He's giving concern for people higher weightage 7. Okay, if I say 7.5, so 7.5 means the manager is concerned about production more than concern for people. Okay, so each of this grid is having its own unique number, okay, its own unique rating. Okay, so we have to study about these 5. Okay, so managerial grid identifies 5 leadership styles. The first one is impoverished style. That is style 1-1. Okay, 1-1 means it is located over here, right? It's located in the lower left-hand corner. And what does it show? Concern for people is low. Concern for production is low. Okay, so what is the manager doing actually? Nothing. He is not bothered with production. He is not bothered with people. Okay, so that kind of manager is absolute failure. So that's why it's an impoverished style. Okay, the style 1-1, it's impoverished style, and in this style, the managers have low concern for people and production. Okay, so they put in minimum efforts and are concerned with their well-being and survival. That's important, right? So are they doing the job? Yes, they are doing. But what are they doing? Nothing. Absolute minimum. Okay, so they will see to that they are satisfied. They are happy. Okay, their position is secure. When we said about behavior, the first characteristic of selflessness. You should not be selfish. Here, the manager is selfish. So the leader is not a. This leadership style is absolute failure. Okay, and what is this? What is his role? The managers act as a messengers from superiors to subordinates. Whatever the superiors will tell him, he will take it and give it to the subordinates. Okay, he's just a channel. So that is the first style, 1-1. So whenever you're writing, mark one style, it's in the lower left corner. Tell them concern for production is low, concern for people is low, and it's a very poor style, right? Second style is authoritarian style or autocratic style. We know what this is, right? So autocratic style is 9-1 style. Okay, 9-1 style means here. Okay, lower right hand corner, 9-1. Right. So what happens here? Concern for production is very high, and concern for people is low. Okay, it's very low. So the manager is only bothered with whether the production is made or not. Okay. So located at the lower right hand corner of the grid, in this style, the leaders have high concern for production and low concern for people. So concern with achieving organization goals and employee needs are not relevant to them. Okay. So here I am bothered about only my pen production. I need 100. I need 500. Okay. How? Okay, I am bothered about how you are producing. Okay, whether you are meeting the quality or not, but about yourself. But my workers, I am not concerned. Okay, whether they are tired, whether they are not happy, whether they are having low morale, whether they are fed up with me. I am not at all concerned with that. I am only concerned with whether I am meeting my goal or not. Okay, so here the employees are treated as machine, and the leader exhibits autocratic behavior. So he will lead with instruction and discipline only. Okay, putting the memo. Okay, for you guys, it will be calling your parent home, withholding your attendance, right? All these things, so instructions and discipline. Okay, so is it a good style of leadership? Again, it will suit certain people, but no. Okay, the third style is country club style. Okay, so country club, you know how we go for relaxing, right? We go for a massage, we go for some drinks, and we'll sit there and we will relax. Okay? We'll play some games. We'll be happy over there. That's the country club. So here the environment is so, right? The style is 1-9 style. Okay? 1-9 style means 1-9. So concern for production is low, but concern for people is high, right? So we'll be happy working here. So whether production is met or not, that is irrelevant for the leader, but concern for people is very high. So it is located at the left-hand corner of the grid. It is characterized by the high concern for people and low concern for production. So the managers here promote an environment in which everyone is relaxed, happy, and friendly, and no one is concerned about the achievement of organization goals. Right? So how long will you with this go? We don't know, but working there will be very good, right? That is third style. The fourth style is team manager style. So it is 9-9 style. So 9-9 style, it is located at the top corner, right? Top right hand corner. So here, concern for production is also high, but concern for people is also high, right? So that will be ideal, right? Both are very high. So you are not in an autocratic style. You have to produce, but your well-being is also concerned, considered. So team manager style, 9-9 style, located at the upper right hand of the grid. Characterized by the high concern for people and production. Both of them are highly concerned. Okay, it is the most effective leadership style according to Blake Mouton model. So understand the term Blake Mouton model. Okay, Blake Mouton model may be the other name for managerial grid. Okay, to understand the question may come, write a note on Blake Mouton model. What Blake Mouton model? I don't know. So that should not be the answer. Blake Mouton model means you have to write about managerial grid, right? So here the managers are able to mesh the production need of organization with the needs of the individuals. So they are integrity in both. I am concerned about my production, but I am also concerned about my people who are working for me. Okay? I'm concerned for my production. I'm also concerned about the people who are working for me. So I am meshing both of them. Meshing is getting it together. Okay? They, through their actions, display the highest possible dedication to both people and production. The managers will be working very hard. Okay, 9 and 10. It's easy for you to understand. Just understand the grid. The rest will all come easily. Right? The fifth style is middle of the road style. That is 5-5 style in between. That means concern is also there, but production is also there. Okay, so located in the middle of the grid. So maintains a balance between people and productivity. So it's 5-5. Okay, in the middle, and obtain adequate morale and production. See, there is, it's not we are going for high. We are going for only adequate. I think that's enough. Okay, we can make profit. We can survive like that. With that kind of a attitude. So objective is maintain employee morale at a level sufficient to achieve organization goals. Okay. So, but here what you have to understand, the organization goals are not too high. Okay. The organization goals is at 9, and the other companies are working at 9. Here it is at 5, right? So the organization goals are not high, but we are keeping morale such that at least 5 is achieved. Okay. So whenever you start a company, what you can go for is you can start at 5-5. Okay, you can start at 5-5 and work towards 9-9. That should be because it's getting into 9-9 As soon as we start, it may not be possible. But in 5-5, we can strive for 5-5. We can maintain 5-5, and later as we develop, we can go for 9-9. Now, what are the advantages of this grid? So we can identify, classify different manager styles. Right? Out of the five are there, there can be 81 styles are there. Right? Five we can easily classify. It can be used as an instrument for organization development, successfully improving attitudes and behavior of people. Like what we said, we'll start with 5-5 and we'll go from there. People are happy, production. We are getting some profit. Then we can go for higher production and higher we can improve people. Right? So that are the advantages. And what are the disadvantages or limitations? It is basically it does not indicate why manager styles are fall into one part of the grid. Okay, there it's just arbitrary. See, we have 1 to 9. Okay, 1 is low, 9 is high. They have simply said it. Okay, Blake and uh, Mouton. They simply said all it is 1 and 9. Okay, so if they could have gone further. 1 is high, 9 is low. Can be done the same. There's no justification for why it comes. More dimensions of leaders can be relevant. They have only considered 5, but there are other also which is possible. We'll see in the continuum. Okay, it neglects the significance of internal and external constraints, circumstances, and situation. So here only the two things concerned are concern for people and concern for production, right? But what is the role of the environment, external environment and internal environment? How do they come into play? That is not considered here. Okay? That becomes a problem over here. Clear? That's manager grid. A very simple topic, easy to for you to understand. Right? Clear? Go to this and tell me if you have a doubt. The third one is leadership as continuum. Okay? Leadership as continuum. Continuum means you must understand the word continuum first. The continuum, every one of you has seen the electromagnetic radiation, right? Like EMR spectrum. Okay, we have blue, green, right? That visible is there. X-rays are there. You see the spectrum, right? The different colors. In your physics classes, you have seen it. That's a spectrum. Okay, that's a continuum. So it's a range. Okay, see, I can say blue, green, and red RGB. Okay, they comes in what as visible. But is there a clear distinction between blue and green? If you look at the spectrum and if you zoom in, what will see? There is no clear cut line. Blue and green stars. No, blue will slightly fade into some blue and yellow. A yellowish tone will come. Yellowish tone will then move on to green. Okay? Like we say, അലിഞ്ഞു ചേരുക. അലിഞ്ഞു ചേരുക എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. Similar to that. That's a continuum. Okay? There is no clear cut distinction. Something changes slightly, it ranges. The word is range. RANG. Ranges from one to other. Okay? That's leadership. That's continuum. So leadership can also be considered as continuum. How it ranges from boss centered to subordinate centered. Okay? Boss oriented to subordinate oriented. Okay? That is leadership continuum. Okay? We're going from one to another. Right? So this model was developed by Robert Tannenbaum and Warren H. Schmidt. Okay? The concept sees leadership involves a variety of styles, ranging one that is highly boss-centered to one that is highly subordinate-centered. Here it's range from one to another. And the important thing is here, the appropriate leadership style depends upon the leader, follower, and the situation. Okay. See, sometimes if suppose I am the leader, if I have 3 subordinates, towards one I may choose autocratic style because he requires that. Towards the other, I may have a democratic approach. Towards the third one, I'll have a free reign approach. Okay, it's a possibility. That will depend upon me, him, and our situation. Okay. Whenever a leadership style comes, the leader, the follower, and situation, all three has to come into play. Right? According to Tannenbaum and Schmidt, the most important elements that influences a manager style can be seen along a continuum. Okay, can be seen along a continuum as 3 forces. Okay, what are they? The forces operating managers. Manager's personality, that is his value. If I am the manager, what is my value system? Whether I am confident, I have confidence in my subordinates, or feeling of security. Okay, because I am secure with myself. Okay? I will not develop someone else because if I am not secure with myself, I may feel okay, if he develops, what will happen? He'll take my position or he'll go above me. If that is my thought process, then I'll never do that. So that comes on the forces of manager. Okay, forces subordinates, whether are they willing to take up the responsibility? Do they have the knowledge? They have the experience. Okay? That is all. I'll look for that. Can he do this job? Does he have the experience? Does he have the knowledge? Whether if he even if he doesn't have the experience, is he ready to learn? So that is what I, as a manager, will look. Okay. Third one, situation. Situation means what is the organization level, the tradition, nature of the problem, all this. Okay. So we'll stop here for today. Please let me know if you have any doubts, or we'll move to